Which leads me on, Drew, to bring you back in to the conference, particularly this afternoon. We had Andreas and Keller, who was speaking this afternoon, and he brought out some incredible points for us as a nation. What was some of those key things for you? If you could bring out two things to talk about, what were two of those things that you heard from him today?
One of the things he talked about was a triangle of nations, being the UK as one of those nations, Germany as another one of those governmental nations, or I think he phrased it with the heart of the Father, and France as a prophetic nation, and the three of those nations being able to lift off and change the spiritual atmosphere over Europe. I believe that's something that is quite, to me, that was revelatory. Yes, I know that the atmosphere needs to shift off of Europe to see this harvest that God has promised us, which is, I believe, is thousands and thousands of people coming to Christ. But the nation of the UK, the leaders in the UK, the leaders in Germany and France, coming together and realising we all have a part to play to see this harvest.
I mean, one of the things that he said was, UK, you're not on your own.
Yes.
That you are very much connected into Europe and not to pull back from. Just talk about that.
I think it's so easy to if we think carnally, we've come out of Europe, as it were, but we've got to think spiritually. We've got to think, for me, I'm thinking very, very much now about legacy, the generations to come, my own children, grandchildren, spiritual children, and I'm looking at, okay, what are we preparing for the next 20, 30, 40 years? I don't know when Jesus is coming back. I think his return is imminent, but I think we need to prepare this Europe for the Lord's return. And that was, I think, another thing that he mentioned, preparing it for the Lord's return and after his return.
Absolutely.
And I have never considered that at all. Honestly, I was thinking, okay, Jesus comes back, he's going to take over everything. I've never thought of preparing the ground, not just for the Lord's return, but how the government is going to operate after that, the spiritual government.